Good day, good day, good day, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Morning Sip with Red Melissa. I am Red Melissa, and SIP stands for Spirit in Practice, where we practice because practice makes progress. Yes, it does. Practice makes progress. So, we are in our Manifesting Your Dream series. So I hope it's been going well with you. Have you noticed a uptick in your dreaming, or are you remembering your dreams more since we started this series, Manifesting Your Dreams? So we're going to get into it a little bit more today, and I want to talk about dreams just a little bit, because when I talk about manifesting your dreams, what I'm speaking to is living your life in joy, connected to your yes. So whatever you're dreaming for your life, we want that to manifest, and it can only manifest through us, right? Through the work, through the focus, through the intention, through the consistency, through the dedication, through the discipline. It manifests through us. Yes? And our dreams can provide us with information that we may not be aware of in our awake state. So I started going down the rabbit hole a little bit, and there is a whole study, which we know this is not a surprise, around dreams, right? And there are even dream scientists. Dream scientists. So there is a dream scientist named J. Allen Hobson, MD, J. Allen Hobson, and he coined the term dream consciousness. Who knew? He coined the term dream consciousness. And so dream consciousness is described, and this is a sip, y'all, because it's a whole study of dreaming that we are not going to get through in a series. Okay, so I'm just giving you a sip. If this piques your interest, then go do more work and explore and be curious about it. So dream consciousness, brain activity is similar to that of wakefulness. So our dream consciousness is similar to our awake consciousness. And one of the things that he says is that dreaming is a complex process involving both cognitive and emotional functions. So when we're dreaming, it involves both our cognitive, our thinking, and our emotional functions, our feeling, right? So when I talk about integrating our dreams, the information that we receive in our dream state, we can use in our awake state. And it becomes valuable when we practice setting bedtime intentions for information to come through in our dreams, and to remember our dreams and to capture them when we wake up by writing them down immediately. So I want to share a dream that I had last night. And so I set a bedtime intention last night to remember my dreams, because I dream. I'm a dreamer. And I remember, I would say, I think, who knows, about 75% of my dreams. And so my intention to dream is kind of like, yeah, that's going to happen, but I don't necessarily remember all of my dreams. So my bedtime intention includes to remember my dreams and to write it down as soon as I wake up. So when we think about integration, because today's focus is on integrating our dreams, using the information that we receive in our dreams to see if they apply to something that is happening in our lives, something that we might be concerned about, something that we may not even be aware of consciously, right? We may not even be aware that something is underneath the surface, right? So let me share this dream that I had early this morning. Because what happened was my alarm went off at 6, right? And I felt sleepy. So if I can, when I wake up and I still feel tired, I go back to sleep. Because I have declared, as you know, for years, that rest and good sleep is important to me. And I'm deepening my commitment to that. And that really got stirred up for me during our series last week, important, the important series. So good rest, sleep is important to me. So I know that I need at minimum 7 hours. So based on the time that I went to bed last night, waking up at 6 did not give me 7 hours. So I went back to sleep. And when I went back to sleep, I had a dream. And so this is what I remembered about the dream. And has anyone had this experience? You're dreaming and you are very much aware that you're dreaming. Yeah, yeah, I have that pretty often as well. I'm very aware. I'm very much aware of the dream, and sometimes I can even navigate the dream. If I see it going a certain way, I can kind of navigate it in another direction sometimes. So this is what I dreamt. Let me see. So y'all, I woke up and wrote this down. And I hope I could read my handwriting. All right. So I have a friend named Adina. And in the dream, so this is a real person named Adina. She's friends of myself and my husband. And in the dream, Adina is moving back to Holland. Now, in real life, Adina is not from Holland. But in the dream, she's moving back to Holland. And then another friend named Dawn, this is also a real person who's a friend of mine. She's coming over to take Adina to the airport. And Dawn is also from Holland. In real life, Dawn is not from Holland. Okay. So then we're at her house. We're at Adina's house, and it's me. I think Marco is there. There's a number of people there that I know currently and in my past. And so one of the persons that's there from my past is someone I grew up with named Darlene, real person, and she was in the dream as well. And so were other people. That I don't really remember who the other people are. So everyone's just kind of hanging out in Adina's house while she's getting her things together to move back to Holland. So I write, the last thing that happened was I was leaning on a glass and metal shelf, 3 tiers, a 3-tier shelf, and 3 bottles fell off, and the metal bent. The bottles didn't fall. The bottles didn't break. I was able to bend the metal back. Darlene, I think, was positioning the shelf back in the position that it was in. There were 2 friends who came over to me. I think one was Darlene from my childhood in Antioch, which was the church that we grew up in. I don't recall the other person. I think Marco may have been there as well. Adina isn't selling her house. Other relatives are living there. So now I'm in the kitchen and there's this sky blue, very worn stove that Adina taps and acknowledges and gives gratitude to. And then I look outside the window and I see three red appliances. One was a stove in the backyard. Adina was fussing to a relative to clean up, and the relative, an older female, said she would by the time Adina moved to Holland. So that was the dream, right? So there's a couple of things that stick out to me. The number three, right? It was a three-tier shelf. Three bottles fell, but the three bottles didn't break. And then color, right? There's a sky blue stove. That's not a normal color for a stove, a sky blue stove. And then looking outside and seeing red appliances. So the colors red and blue stand out for me. And then this location, Holland, right? So those are things that kind of stood out to me after I wrote this down, right? So I haven't looked to see the symbolism of three. Immediately, what comes to mind is the Trinity, right? I didn't look up yet the significance of the color blue, which could represent communication, or the color red, which could represent, fire. So I haven't done any deep analysis yet. Instead, what I did was I went to my journal during my spiritual practice and I asked my higher self, what information do I need to know from this dream that may not be obvious to me, right? Because I'm focusing on the things that I just mentioned, the number three, the color red and blue, the place Holland, and then these people who were in the dream, some I knew now, some from the past, right? All of these things. So I said, what is it that I need to glean from this dream? And this is what came through. And this is why I say, our dreams are very symbolic, right? There's a lot of symbolism in dreams. And sometimes we can interpret the symbolism in very unsymbolic ways or literally, right? We could look at symbolism in a literal way. This is what came up when I journal. What is it that I need to glean from this dream? Guidance said, this dream is about my mother possibly moving in with me. I said, what? 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 The dream is about my mother possibly moving in with me. So I don't know if my mother's watching today, but if you are mommy, hey mommy. So there's going to be some changes in real life with my mother and my aunt. My mother and my aunt are twins. They live together in Brooklyn. In my uncles, their brothers, brownstone, and they're getting up in age. And my mother doesn't mind me sharing her age. She's 85. Her twin sister recently had a minor health situation, and since then she has been living with her son in New Jersey. And my mother is still at the house with her brother, but he lives in a different part of the house. So we've been having conversations as a family about the possibility of my mother moving from her brother's house, and what those possibilities may be. So this is what is rattling around in my dream consciousness, right? The possibility of my mother moving in with me. Now, how do I feel about that? I don't know. I don't know, y'all, to be honest. And mama, you know I love you, but I don't know. Because the girls are getting ready to go to college, right? So we're about to have this experience of empty nesting. And for other reasons, Marco and I are going to be spending more time in North Carolina with his family, with his parents. He's Marco's the only child. And so this is like, I guess, coming up for me, right? And it's definitely something that I am um, something that is activated in my subconscious mind because I'm not really concerned about this on a conscious level, right? I'm like, whatever happens, happens. But clearly, there's more there for me that I need to integrate. There's more there on a cognitive level. There's more there on a emotional level. There's more there on a subconscious level that I need to integrate. And how does that relate to manifesting my dream, right? So all of these dynamics could be happening, not now, but soon, right? Like Adina is soon moving to Holland in my dream, and other things may be, and that's a big move, right? Moving to Holland is a big move. My mother moving in with me is a big move, right? So I hope this example, real life example, just happened early this morning and very deep and relevant for me, but not obvious in my dream. So we go within and we ask for guidance, right? And guidance interprets it. Now, I could have shared this with a friend and asked them, well, what do you think the dream means? And they could have come up with something, but I doubt it if they would have came up with what guidance gave to me. So I hope this example is something that you can use in your dream state, in your dream consciousness. And it's just more information that you can use when you consider the dreams that you are manifesting in your life, the desires of your life, right? The living your life in joy connected to your yes. There are other factors that we need to take into account that may not be at top of mind. Yes? All right, y'all. All right. So I wanted to share that as an example. And let's just say good day to Pamela, to Shay. Hey. Yes, Linda, blue can represent our emotions, not a particular one, but emotions in general. Yes, absolutely, Linda. So I'm gonna tinker around with some of the symbolism of the dream, the number 3, the colors, even the location of Holland. Just to see, because I'm just curious about that. Shay said, I just processed this morning all the times my mom moved in with me. Totally different situation, but still. Yes, Shay, we're often on the same vibe around the things that come up for us. Yes, 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 yes. All right. So before I share some joy news, I want to remind everyone, as I do when we come to the end of a month and get ready to gear up for the new month, our completions and creations. So this is the last day of July. Tomorrow we are stepping into August. So what have you completed for July that was part of your intention, right? So at the end of June, You did an inventory of your completions and you created your intentions for July. So take time, evaluate, take inventory of what those things are that you set intentions for July. See where you are. Are there things that need to get carried over to August? And remember, it's just about making progress in the things that we desire, right? And this is still in that space of manifesting our dreams. And then for August, what are you creating, right? What do you want to focus on? And now we could weave in what is important, right? So for August, let us focus on the things that are important that we want to create, that we are desiring to create to make progress in for the month of August. And then when we come to the end of August, we'll do an assessment, evaluate, inventory of the intentions that we're setting now for August. Okay? You got that? All right. All right. So let's get into some joy news. Let's get into some joy news. So this weekend, we are in person, and I am quite excited about that. And I would like to, let me see if I could do this real quick. If I could pop this up real quick. We are in person. This is for the second time at a new location. It's called the Angel Nyack. It's located in Nyack, New York. It's a beautiful building that's being converted from a church to a art and special events space, and it's beautiful. So we are there this Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we will be starting our new theme for August, which is On the Wings of Love. And whenever I hear that term, it immediately makes me think about Jeffrey Osborne's song On the Wings of Love. Up and above the clouds, the only way to fly is on the wings of love. So join us. You could go to Rockland CSL and get all of the information there. If you can't join us in person, we will be streaming on Facebook and we will be on Zoom. You could go to rocklandcsl.org for the Zoom link. And my topic this Sunday is Love's Ascent. Love's Ascent. So I hope that you will join me for that. And as always, I will be sharing a replay on the other SIP, Sunday in Praise. I'll be replaying an inspirational talk that I've given in the past. So that is happening on Sunday. Next week, it's bananas, y'all. So next week is our meditation with the full moon. That will be happening on August 7th. So I hope you can join me 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right where you're watching me now. 8:30 p.m. we do a full spiritual practice with the energy of the moon, and it will be focused around this series this week of manifesting our dreams and last week's important. So please join me for that August 7th. That's next Thursday. And I'm mentioning again that SIP, I will be going on hiatus starting August 11th, returning September 2nd. So during that time, I will be playing replays of SIP, possibly from my very first year of doing SIP in 2020. So be aware of that and still tune in, still make comments, all the things. Continue to watch the show and support my ministry of joy. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my Instagram because I don't stream on Instagram live anymore because Instagram now requires you to have at least 1,000 followers to do Instagram live, which is really messed up, I think. But anyway, it is what it is, right? Thank you, Fee. I'm gonna miss y'all too. So y'all know what's happening. My girls will be going to college and we'll be driving to the South, um, first to North Carolina to see Marco's parents and family there, and then resting there for a day. And then the next day, driving to Alabama, being there for the day and resting there. And then the next day, driving to Georgia to drop off my HBCU girls. Yes. So they're both going to historically Black colleges and universities. And I'm so excited and happy for them. And so y'all start praying for me now. Because it's hard. I ain't playing, y'all. I was crying yesterday just from Aria starting to pack. I was like, what are you doing? She said, I'm just going to start packing now. And I just felt like something right here and like a sinking in kind of feeling. And then I just burst into tears and she came over and hugged me and everything. So yeah, y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me. Yeah, it's going to be something. So that's all the joy news. Please remember to support my soul brother, Sekou Writes. I'll share this lastly. He is amazing, and he has written 2 books that will be coming out very soon in August. You can pre-order them now. One is Little Sekou's First Dollar. It's a children's book all about money. And the second is Get Rich 101 by Sekou Writes. So that's based on his podcast, and it's information that we can use, that we can implement now and shift our relationship with money to the positive, right? To the surplus, if you will. So shout out to Sekou Writes for Little Sekou's First Dollar and Get Rich 101 by Sekou Writes. You can go to Amazon and pre-order the books now. All right, y'all. We'll be wrapping up the Manifesting Your Dreams series tomorrow. So again, today, set your bedtime intention to dream, to remember your dream, and to write your dream down as soon as you wake up. Because remember, our consciousness acts like a magnet. Are you magnetizing your dreams or are you magnetizing nightmares? What are you magnetizing? Are you magnetizing your quality? What are you magnetizing? So we expect our dreams to manifest. And so we are magnetizing high vibration, high qualities, love, peace, harmony, joy, all of the things that are good and very good. So peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and justice. We are living life in joy, connected to our yes.